Good morning, YouTube. Well, I hope you guys' week's off to a great start. This week, my focus truly is to put it down. I mean, for the last week and a half, my personal sales have been in the gutter. I mean, I haven't been able to really get some solid time on the phones. But this week, it's my number one goal. You know, and sometimes that happens when you're running a small agency. Agents need time, dedication to train them. And you got to sacrifice from your personal time to produce, to train your people. And, you know, that's what I did. So I feel bad, but not too bad, because I know that we were being productive, helping our agents succeed, as well as, you know, building new partnerships for our lead side. And, you know, selling is not easy. You know, you can have the greatest leads out there. And one, there's no perfect lead. But there's great leads that are going to put you in front of people that want to talk about burial insurance. You can have the greatest lead source. But still, selling and closing are two different things. Okay, you can sell, market, but closing is a whole separate animal. And if you as the agent don't have that skill set, then you're gonna struggle. And you know, it puts me, you know, in a place where I think, you know, of how lucky I was to be able to have great mentors like the Berrigan family that showed me how to sell insurance when I first started in 2004. I was lucky, because most agents today, they get hired and they get lost in all the numbers because their IMOs are hiring thousands of people. But, you know, for someone like me that, one, didn't go to college, second, you know, barely graduated high school, and I say that a lot, even though it's a little embarrassing, because my principal during summer handed me my diploma. It's embarrassing because, you know, I really didn't like school. I was always a worker. If I can get off school early to go work, that was me. I was that person. But over the years, because I knew that was a weakness of mine, I forced myself to read as much as I could. And for over 20 years, I've read a lot of books. And, you know, great people like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Grant Cardone, and a list of others. But there was one book in particular that I was introduced to several years ago at a company training in South Georgia. So basically, the insurance company called all the top leadership and their top agents to spend 1 week in our home office putting it down. And it was a really nice meet, because I was able to meet new guys that were working in different parts of the state, but also learn from others that were on the same journey that I was, which is final expense, especially selling burial insurance over the phone. But there was a gentleman there, Jignesh Patel, and you know, that gentleman today is a success. He was then, and he is now, and he sells a lot of insurance. And, you know, anybody that knows who Jignesh is would agree that he's a great agent. But Jignesh was able to win one of the awards. And I think it was production for the day, or I forget what exactly the award was, but he won one of them. And when he got an opportunity to talk to all of us, he said he'd been reading a book by Frank Betcher. And the title of that book was How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success Selling. And I got to say that book that Jignesh recommended was one of the best books that I've ever read in my life. And let me tell you why. One, Frank Betcher was a professional baseball player. And it took place over 100 years ago. Think of that. 1910, 1920 time frame. And he failed as a professional ball player because of an injury. And he ended up working for Fidelity Life Insurance Company. Never sold anything before. And he started working for this life insurance company. In the first 2 months, from the moment in time he started, he sold 0. And when he was sitting there with his boss, he got terminated after that second month because of 0 sales. The takeaway, though, because I don't want to ruin it for you, is that what changed this man's failure to success was two major things that I was able to take away from that book. The first one was having enthusiasm. When you get on the phone and talk to your client, and if you're not being enthusiastic and there's 0 enthusiasm, you're not going to get very far. And he talked about making it a complete effort to be enthusiastic because it would change the dynamic of the receiver, the client. And it worked. I started applying that enthusiasm in the first 5 seconds of the phone call. When the client would pick up, "Hey, Miss Betty, how you doing?" That's what I started doing instead of, "Hello, is Miss Betty available?" And I noticed my closing ratio started growing. The second takeaway that I got from him, and for me it was a confirmation because at the time I was already organized for years. But it was a confirmation to me that being organized is not something that you maybe should do. It's something that you must be. You must be organized in your business. And Frank talked about keeping track of everything, from how many presentations he made, to why he made the sales, to why he didn't make the sales, and just document everything in order to find a pattern, what I call a pattern of success. And for me, that was a major confirmation that keeping track, even though to some might be obsessive, but that really helps you progress. Because if you don't know where you need to work at, as a sales guy, then how are you going to grow? You're going to be a legend in your own mind all the time. You're not going to be able to look in the mirror. And Frank really breaks it down. And it made me realize that it doesn't matter what era we live in, whether it was 100 years ago or it's today in modern times, people still need insurance. The underlying reason of why people would buy insurance has not changed, and it's still the same. That was 100 years ago, and it's still the same here today. The struggles that agents dealt with in sales, the resistance, the objections, guess what? It's still the same. Little slightly different certain areas because of technology, but other than that, it's the same. And that should really help all of us understand that we can learn how to close more sales by applying the many different things that the greats have done, like Frank Bettger, the Berrigans, the Londons, and so on and so forth. So guys, as you guys kick off this week, I'm going to pay it forward, and I'm going to post the book. The name of the book, once again, is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. And I would highly encourage you to buy it or do the audio. There's a free audio on YouTube. Go ahead and listen to the audio and put some real attention and commit to yourself to following what Frank talks about. And let me know how your week goes. For me, I saw the results almost instantaneously when I changed the enthusiasm. I felt a complete difference in the type of reaction I was getting from my clients. And trust me, I've been door knocking for many, many years, and I also been on the phones, and that piece of advice really changed the game for me. So guys, if You want to learn how to close deals over the phone. You want to learn how to, maximize your efforts every single week using virtual technology and the telephone sales. Call me. I'll be more than happy to show, an agent that's struggling. If you have a call center and you're looking at, maybe lead supply and also a training program that you can follow, call me too. We also own X Telecom, a company that specializes in final expense live transfers, and they are amazing. And call us. We'll be able to show you what it is that we do. You can witness me on the phones as I take these live calls, and you can witness how I close 10 to 20 of these a week. And if you can duplicate exactly what you see me do, then we can definitely talk about either helping you out individually or getting your company lined up to get leads and training with us. So guys, you enjoy your week. God bless everybody, and see you guys at the top. Peace.